Hello there again, and welcome back to the Japan Game Junk podcast. I know you missed me so very much. So very, very much. So, today I'm going to tell you a little bit about a hard-off store that I visited, and I've been quite a bit in the past. It has some good stuff there, or at least it has traditionally. This one is the hard-off store in the Kamiaoki region, the Kamiaoki neighborhood of Kawaguchi city of Saitama. So Kawaguchi is very near Saitama city and near Tokyo as well. And it has some of the cleanest and best conditioned retro games I've seen. Not in the junk section, of course, in the standard sales section, but if you're looking for a game that looks really good as part of a collection with its conditioning, then this store, this Kamiaoki store in Kawaguchi is pretty good. So, I am recording this the day that I could visit it, and that is the 8th of April, 2024, and here are some of the things that I found that were noteworthy in the store itself. First, for the PlayStation 1, a game that I'm not sure if it has any kind of foreign release, but it's kind of sought after here, and it's the cheapest I've ever seen it, even at the best condition I've ever seen it, and that is Yami Fukunatsu Teito Monogatari Futatabi, which is the continuing story of the Dark Summer Capital, something like that, for 9,000 yen. So even including tax, it's less than 10,000 yen, which is crazy cheap compared to how I've seen it before. Even the cheapest I've seen online for a worse condition copy is 9,600 yen at the Surugaya online store. So this is indeed one of the better finds you can find for this game if you really want it. If you don't know much about it, look it up. It's kind of a weird one. So, yeah. Also, something I found that is about the same price as anywhere else is the PC Engine CD copy of Psychic Storm, which is a great game. And it was 5,000 yen at this store. And that's about the same price as you see elsewhere, but again, it's just the condition. Very, very nice. You could see through the plastic the crisp manual and such. It was really, really nice. Also, a couple of 3DO titles that's cheaper than usual, still in very good condition. One is Night Trap, which for some reason ends up being expensive at some places, but here, great condition, better than the one that I have, 2,000 yen. Very, very low right now, and then there's the original 3DO game, the one that was released as a pack-in game. Just a second. I fought off a sneeze because I'm so good at that. Might have to do that again soon. Anyway, yes, Crash and Burn, the 3DO pack-in game for the original FZ1 release in North America. Helping to offset that $700 cost when it came out, which is well over $1,000 by today's money. I, of course, waited until it was $400 to buy mine, but that was way back when. Anyway, that's only 500 yen. Very, very cheap price, and for a game that looks very good in packaging, maybe one of the cheapest 3DO games I've ever seen. So it's pretty good. Let's see, next up. This is maybe of interest to people who are a bit perverted. So, the commercially released game that maybe has some of the most, enticing drawn females on the Super Famicom that got a real release, not like some bootleg game, but for the Super Famicom, Super Real Mahjong Part 4 was only 1,000 yen. Again, just the loose cartridge only, but very good condition. Surprised to see that one. Now going on to things that are a bit more expensive than usual. So this is, again, very good condition stuff, but I would not pay this much seeing how cheaply they can be found elsewhere. So just 4 quick ones in a row. First, a Pikachu Nintendo 64. You probably know what I'm talking about. It's the N64 that's a bit oversized with the clunky, yellow big Pikachu on the off-centered placement there to the right of the cartridge port, and the whole thing is blue and yellow. It's very interesting. Not so interesting at 50,000 yen. That is about half the cost of what you could get a 64DD disk drive system. When you find that, that's crazy. I've seen these. I've seen it for 1/10 of that price a couple years ago. And again, I know that things are getting more expensive as time goes on, but yeah, that was not even with the box, just the loose system. 50,000 yen. Looks nice, but that's way too much. You can probably even find it cheaper in Akihabara, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, next up is another thing that I think would be cheaper elsewhere. That is a Dreamcast ASCII or ASCII pad. ASCII? Anyway, it's a Dreamcast pad made for fighting games. And so it has all of the the buttons in the 6-button pad. It has the shoulder buttons on the side there, and it's also much more kind of Saturn shaped. It's a smaller pad for the Dreamcast. It's a really good one to have, except it's 8,000 yen there. I got mine for 2,000, I think a year and a half ago at a hard off in Tochigi Prefecture. So yeah, not recommended at that price. And then also they had 4 Nintendo 64 Hori pads. And this is the pad that I believe is the most popular gamepad to be used in Nintendo 64 by, I guess, pro gamers. I think it's for the original Smash Brothers and also for speedrunners. I think for some reason this Nintendo 64 Hori pad is seen as the best. I got mine for about 1,500 yen a few years ago. Here they're being sold for 6,000 yen each. And for a beautiful one that may be kind of the going rate, but you can find it cheaper elsewhere, even in good condition. And then there is a Neo Geo Pocket Color, 12,000 yen. Nowadays, I know they're kind of more expensive than they used to be, but you can still find them. You should be able to find them for less than 10,000 in most retro stores. So again, good condition, but probably not worthwhile to get that one. But something that this store had that I thought was very impressive was it had a very large stock of recently made third-party generic AV cables for older consoles and charging cables for older consoles. For example, the proprietary PSP Go cable, new in bag for about 370 yen, or was 370 yen, and then they have things like either AV cables or power cables for Wii U gamepads, Saturn, 2 different models of Mega Drive, Dreamcast, and they're all at 800 yen or less. And so when these things are, you find the systems loose and you want to be able to power them up, this is pretty good. Pretty good idea to go by your heart off to look for a new one that's been recently created that'll be probably last longer than an old one that's decades old, right? Next, you could find a PSP battery new in package for 900 yen. Not from Sony, but, the newer created ones that hopefully won't explode, as the original PSP batteries are known to bulge and cause some system problems. And probably the cheapest thing I found was a completely workable PSVR headset. 1,000 yen. About a little over $6. It didn't have all the connections, where you have the thing that plugs into your PS4 or PS5 to connect it. But if your headset, for example, had a problem, maybe the internal mirror went bad, or the lens went bad, or maybe it just got torn up, or you dropped it or something, then 1,000 yen, that's really, really good. So as long as that's there, that's gonna be a good find for someone who needs to have just the goggles portion of the PSVR. And the last thing I will note about this store is that it had a large number in their display case of Mark III games, Sega Mark III games, for somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 yen, but all of the games seem to be lower priced than most other stores. So if you're around the area and you want some Mark III games, that might be a place to go and check. That is the display case beside the register. For some reason, many of their used, premium games were put in this case by the register as opposed to next to the games, which is more common in a hard-off store. But anyway, those are some things that I could find on April 8th, 2024 in the Kamiaoki Kawaguchi hard-off store. And it's a good place to go. In the past, I have purchased a number of things that were very positive, including... Actually, I believe, did I get my second Laserdisc player there? I think I did. And also they had a large number of actually cheaper computer equipment that was available. So laptops and tablet computers and stuff. Very good deals I saw at that store. So this is a recommended store. Unfortunately, it is not so easy to reach if you are not a car driver in Japan. It is probably walkable from Nishi Kawaguchi Station, but it wouldn't be an easy walk. So, anyway, I would recommend if you're in the area, or if you really, really want to make the walk, give it a shot. Also, Kawaguchi has one of the better AEON shopping centers, AEON shopping malls, in Japan, in my opinion, with their store selection, and it was built a couple of years ago now, and also has a great movie theater as well. So the Kawaguchi AEON Mall has the AEON Cinema movie theater, and it has my favorite kind of movie seat that I've found up until the present day. More so than an IMAX or one of those moving around seats. They have couches, literally couches where you can lean back. So in the front row of the AEON Cinema of the AEON Mall in Kawaguchi City, all the seats were converted into these couches, these lounge couches, where you can lean back and you can put your feet up, and you get like these little mini tables to the right and left with drink holders and stuff, and a bit of a wall behind you. You got some privacy there too. And of course, when you're at the front part of the theater, you got to look up because you're so close to the screen. Well, these, of course, you lean back, and it's incredibly comfortable. It feels really great. So, whenever I have the chance, I want to go to watch movies in this capacity. I believe it's only about a 200 yen premium over a normal ticket price too. It's really, really worth it. So if you are, I think the only ones I know of that have these seats are Kawaguchi AEON, and also the South Urawa, Minami Urawa AEON Cinema as well. These two cinemas have these lounge couch seats, and I strongly recommend going to watch a movie there. It's so... You know what? You don't really realize how tiring it is to watch a movie in a normal movie seat. At least I didn't know that. You got to kind of sit in this one position and, kind of keep your arms at a certain angle, I don't know. It's hard to put into words until you try it this way, where it is so comfortable. It's so amazing. And even being so close to the screen doesn't really matter because, again, your head is being held at the angle to see it as it best can be seen. Highly recommend this kind of theater experience. And one more reason, other than the Kawaguchi Kamiaoki hard-off store, is the Kawaguchi AEON and the AEON Cinema. So, there you go. That's a bit about Kawaguchi City of Saitama. A place not only to get a slightly cheaper than Tokyo house and to commute to work there, but a place to enjoy for your lifestyle. And part of that is getting very, very great condition retro games. And I hope you do. Thank you so much for listening, and remember, you're an incredibly important and wonderful person, and I very much appreciate your time. Goodbye.